Ooh, this meeting's being recorded. All right. So, welcome everyone. This is How to Do Do's. Take the name as you wish to interpret it, but this is the SWD Do's seminar for 2023. I am the Secretary Treasurer, Christopher Diaz. Thank you guys from Buckeye for being here, and hello, recording or people watching, viewers, I guess. So, in this seminar, what I'm going to go over are essentially what are dues, the technicalities of why this is such an important and pressing matter, and then the Membership Update Center, which describes the process of how to pay these dues and the platform that you use always whenever you're talking about rosters or payments. Important notices and common mistakes. So just the important key takeaways of this presentation, and then a summary and any questions and answers for the attendees. So just as kind of to let you know who I am, as I said earlier, I'm the Secretary Treasurer. Chris, you can call me Chris. I'm a senior at Tempe High. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. This is my 4th year in Key Club, last and final year. And my hobbies are cello, playing cello, doing sports. I'm a tennis cross country guy, and then sleeping, as that guy in the bottom right corner would tell you. So, first things first, I bet you might have an idea, but what are dues? So, dues are charges paid by every member throughout the Southwest District and just all of Key Club as a whole that covers the programs and administrative expenses of Key Club. They let us function. So they are assessed on the club, district, and international level. What this means is that the amount that is going to be charged onto your members are decided based off of the district, the club specifically, and always international, which will have this this constant amount, whereas the club and district decides on different types of money amounts that they will cover, that they will charge their members. I don't know why I struggle so much. SWD dues have been set by the district bylaws and can only be changed by a vote at the House of Delegates. So each year at our district convention, the district dues fees will only be changed if it is set as sort of an amendment to the bylaws, and then it can be changed based off of a vote on by the Key Club attendees. Right, as of right now, there hasn't been a change in the district dues for a while, but that is, I mean, looking at the state of kind of our economy, it wouldn't be so surprising if there is a change in our bylaws. So there's always that kind of option or possibility every year at DCON. So if a student wishes to become an official member of Key Club, every single person, regardless if they are returning, not returning, new, have no idea what Key Club is, they have to pay their dues if they want to become an official member. So dues in our district in the Southwest, they're split up into 2 separate areas. They come together for a total of $12, and you have $5 going to the district, which allows the functionality of the Southwest and helps cover district expenses. We'll go over that a little bit later and what that means. And then international, which is kind of the same concept, but on the international level, on Key Club International as an organization, and it helps on a larger scale. For a minimum of $12, all dues are turned in through the Membership Update Center. And also note that clubs can place an additional dues fee. So, for example, if they have anything that's not related to the district or international matters, such as if your club wants to have t-shirts, parties, or buy-in for a certain objective that the club wants to meet, then you would place an extra fee, just making sure that it doesn't exceed the original $12, which is the total Key Club fee, making sure that your additional club fee does not exceed that amount. That is written in the bylaws. Some key clubs get away with it, but just make sure if you are setting up that additional fee that it does not exceed the $12. So in total, truly your dues should not exceed, well, the maximum amount would be $24.
And
And
actually,
this,
Chris, just a little clarification on that rule. It's the $7, not the 12, that the club dues should not be more than. So your club dues shouldn't be more than $7, but any fees that you might have. So t-shirt fees, if you're collecting fees to throw a holiday party at the end of the semester, or if your club has to pay fees to use the facilities, those types of fees are not considered dues. So, those costs can be whatever those costs are, but the dues that a club might choose to assess to their members that stay at the club level shouldn't exceed $7. Now, as Chris said, nobody's policing that. So if you have been charging more, this don't ask, don't tell. But just keep in mind that the international bylaws want us to make sure that club dues are less than $7.
yes, so you will not see me knocking at your door if you exceed that amount. So going into a little more on what they cover on an international level, if you were to see on the left the infographic that Key Club International made, you have program expenses and administrative operational costs. Looking at the seven, or yeah, that little seven that they have, they say that 18% goes to the administrative fees and then 82% goes to program support. The programs consist of Global Leadership Certificate, the Global Engagement Rally, membership cards, handbooks, pins, guidebooks, officer training materials, travel for international board, and then finally marketing and PR. And then the administrative operational cost, which is more the things that happen behind the scenes, but they're still very important and sort of act as a glue for a key club. You have utilities, any IT support, and building expenses for Key Club International's board, and just ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Now, in terms of our own district, the Southwest District, you see that the dues, or the $5 dues, will cover board meeting training expenses for the district board. So ensuring that all board members, the LTGs, I as a secretary treasurer, the bulletin editor, and the governor have proper training at these events. We use that $5 district fee, and then committee programming and expenses. So on the district board, we have different committees in charge of ensuring that we meet these goals that we have set in place and just work on separate aspects of the district that we want to improve. And then LTG budgets for division travel, events, and expenses. Again, making sure that our lieutenant governors are able to have this or build this connection with the district or their divisions and their members. And then finally, software and storage expenses. Once again, one of those behind the scenes things that lets us work as efficiently as we do. So the second portion goes a little bit more into how you pay the dues. So traversing the Membership Update Center. The Membership Update Center is the Kiwanis online platform used for all K family branches. So you'll see it in Kiwanis, CKI, and then KCI, Key Club International, and it helps manage membership rosters and finances. So if you're looking through the muck, you're able to change the advisor and Kiwanis information for your key clubs, pay dues, finalize rosters, and access the Global Leadership Certificate, which we'll go into a little bit later. So who has access to it? It deals with a lot of financial information, so only a select individuals on the club level will be able to access the Membership Update Center. But it is a solid group that will be able to help you throughout traversing it. So first, which is the clearest of the bunch, advisors, which are in charge of finalizing all information and making sure that they have the login and they're sending in all the money for your clubs. And then presidents, vice presidents, treasurers, they're mostly to relay the information that you have in the membership update center and the importance of it at club meetings, just making sure members know about the importance of dues and giving advisors the contact information needed to build their rosters. And then secretary and presidents, once again, keeping track of the to-do list on the muck. And essentially there to help the advisor file record of members and dues. So in order to access Muck, you would first want to go either URL, type in this link that we have here, https /members.kiwanis.org, or if you were to simply go into Google, search up Membership Update Center, it should be one of the first links that are available. And once you click on that, you will be greeted with a sign-in page. And it looks like this, which is on the right-hand side. You see that it requires an email address and password, which should have been created or maybe passed on to you by a previous advisor. If not, create an account. And after that, you'll be taken to a page that will ask you for your group. What this means is, well, in other words, this means your school. So if you're to click that drop down, you'll be able to search through all the schools registered through the Membership Update Center for in Key Club. And so you would want to select your high school and then just press submit. And then you're into the Membership Update Center. So once your advisor is all logged in, your clubs can finalize a complete roster. And what this means is it's a giant listing of every single member within your Key Club. And it requires the full name, city, state, and country that they're from, which is pretty basic information given that they have the location of the high school. So, but there are other areas that if your club wants to, they can fill out. But once again, it just needs their full name, city, state, and country that they're from.
And actually,
So,
Chris, I'm gonna jump in because what they truly need is the name and an email address. So they don't really need the physical address, like city, state, county, but they do need an email address, and preferably an email address that isn't behind a firewall.
yeah. So no, looking to avoid school accounts, if possible, the personal email addresses for these students. And once your club has all this information listed out, you'll be able to file an invoice, essentially a receipt, for the total amount owned for your whole Key Club. So it takes this roster that you completed and multiplies the amount of members by 12, because each member is expected to pay $12. And it then gives you an invoice, the amount owned for your Key Club in total. So this total amount will be able to get paid through the Membership Update Center. And all you need to do from there is go into the payment section on the homepage, and then the finance section, sorry, it's called. And then your dues will be able to be paid in two separate ways. If you were to look, I know the image is kind of small on the right, but there are those two gray boxes beneath unpaid orders. You have two options of paying online through a credit card or sending a check to Kiwanis International headquarters in Indianapolis, Indiana. So once again, working together with your treasurers, presidents, advisors, Kiwanians, to ensuring that you collect all the dues needed within your Key Club, making sure everyone's name is listed with that email. And from there, you'll be able to create everything you need through the Membership Update Center, file an invoice, and then once everything is good through your school bookstore or account payable, you'll be able to send in those payments through the Membership Update Center. And that is it for traversing that platform. This still says number 2, but we're on the 3rd section, sorry. Common mistakes and important takeaways. So just some common mistakes that we usually see here in the Southwest District. Some clubs have filled out their club's information in the Membership Update Center, but there's just a single. It's a little small to see, but there's this gray box that just says roster complete. This is crucial. So once you have every single member listed with their information, you must complete the roster. Press that box and you'll be able to file that invoice. And that's where a lot of like hiccups happen, just simply because you need to press that button. And then for newly chartered clubs within the newly chartered clubs in the year, the charter fee does not enlist your club through the Membership Update Center. So once that charter fee is paid, you must ensure to go back into the Membership Update Center and complete that roster, finalize it, because the charter fee does not list the complete members through the Membership Update Center. It's something separate, so you want to ensure that you do those two things. And then only Kiwanis advisors listed for your club on the Membership Update Center are allowed to access it. This is kind of going into the fact that some advisors may not know what email it's connected with. So you want to ensure that you're using the same email and that you're actually the advisor for this high school's key club through and listed on the Membership Update Center as that. If not, you won't be able to access all the information within the high school. And then filling out the Membership Update Center is separate from the officer certification form. You guys might have experienced your lieutenant governors sending you a bunch of emails about the officer certification form, but having a Membership Update Center roster is something completely different from the officer certification form, which is a Google form that the lieutenant governors send out to collect the similar contact information. Those two things are separate. Membership Update Center is very, very professional in the sense that it goes into Kiwanis' database. Whereas the officer certification form is more, well, in the Southwest District, it's for us and the lieutenant governors to have a better sense of all the contact information they need. So just making sure that the Membership Update Center roster, that is complete, as well as the officer certification form through the Google form that your lieutenant governor has hopefully sent out. And then ensuring any new member is accounted for on the roster and still pays their dues. I know there's a missing R, but just make sure that every new member is accounted for in the Membership Update Center and that they pay their dues and those payments are still sent forward. And then this is probably the biggest thing to know. December 1st, 2023 is the final due date in the Southwest District where you can pay dues. So make sure you get them in as soon as possible. So just to summarize what just went on, the big takeaway, ensure that your club has registered all members. So work with your advisors, Kiwanians, officers to ensure you collect all key club members' information and that you collect their payments for their dues. Usually $12. It may increase depending on your club. So make sure that you collect those payments, you have that information, and that you submit all of that in the Membership Update Center by December 1st. If we send you an email saying that you didn't pay, but you did before that due date or after that due date, I guess in that timeline, chances are the payment is still processing, registering. Maybe the check still hasn't arrived in Indianapolis. So just let us know if we are confused on that behalf. So because there's usually a lot of things going into factors, so the process is or can be a little delayed. So just let us know, even if the payment is very close to that December 1st deadline. A quick email to the lieutenant governor letting them know that you did pay it would help us a lot of confusion that is possible in the long run.
And
And
Chris, one,
finally, we know that this is possibly a long and stressful process, but it is one designed to be handled with collaboratively. So Kiwanians, officers, and the district board, lieutenant governors will always be there to help. Feel free to contact any of us if you have any questions about dues, the payment process, how to collect them, just any questions or concerns you have on the matter, let us know and we'll be glad to help. So, does anyone have any questions in attendance?